Listen, you know why I never talk, man? Because I'm always on the go. Exactly. We working. Tell him, Tico. Listen, I'm always on the go. Tico always working. He deserves to be rewarded. Hey. The day he was like, I don't want to hear us talk.
PTR, my picture, y'all. PTR.
That nigga said, one mic, I want to hear her talk. Buddy. That shit is hilarious, man. That nigga. Can I get a green bean? No. You about to get a boot. Dirt. You laughing? That's funny to you that they're not hearing you? Bro, women don't have a voice in this chat tonight, buddy. I want to fucking do it. I want to have my own fucking chat podcast. Well, I will be the Center Stage podcast. Get my nigga Stavo that motherfucking green bag, man. I know you like. Stavo always be here. Talk to my cousin. That's his cousin. That's sexy. That's right. Big though. Hey, y'all seen Cosmic Slop? Cosmic Slop. Nah, what's that, bro? It's on YouTube. It's a movie from 1994. It's titled Cosmic Slop, The Funkadelic Twilight Zone. It was not. I never seen that. Hell no. Hell no. Oh, I gotta get like a bean. What the fuck? All that shit. I need a bean too, man. Dolores, you feeding for the green bean. You ain't never did it like that. Bean. You can't feed for the bean. You don't get a chance to get in between. I'm gonna Dolores, you be muting people and kicking people when you got a bean? Yeah. No. Dolores lying like shit. I do. I be beating the shit out of people. I better let him talk or Maya. I know your ass. Maya looks like they're gonna shut the fuck up regardless. They gonna shut the fuck up. Watch this. Maya be abusing her power. I be muting people though. And I bring everybody up. I know how to moderate a room. I'm very successful at that. Hey, queen. You said what? Is it good? You heated it up?
Well, I don't. I be the motherfucker be running over me.
Oh. Damn, we have a topic all day for real. None of that shit. Me and Dad happened yesterday. She gonna start her own room. She said Dad started her own room? She's going to tonight. She got to text her my phone number. Well, shit, more power to Dad. You're gonna be in there, but Scammy, you be yelling, so we can't have you be yelling and shit. I'm not coming to y'all fucking rooms.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
They finna get me in there and control me? Hell no. Women can't wait that choice to put me
Oh my God, nobody wants to control you, Scammy.
I'll never find that out because I'll never be under yours. Let me say Lord.
Cake with me.
The Lord's over there eating grapes on her man's ass. Oh. Dad. Bend over, baby. Let me see that thing poke out. Dad. Dookie grape. Oh my God. Where's this nigga Mike at, man? Dolly, what's good, bro?
I say Mike, I missed it earlier and never came back.
What's good, bro? My shit in here getting high. What's good? What you up?
I felt discriminated against him.
Like that. Welcome to the club, Dolores. Welcome to the club.
You hell, Scammy.
He does like me.
Yeah, that's why they don't like me, man.
Scammy, I'm your number one fan. Maybe not. Maybe number 4. But I
don't got no goddamn fan.
He's no. You got fucking fans. You have a fan base. You got fans.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Maybe not fans, but you got some followers.
Look, they try to make that. Look, it went from fans to followers. Fans became a good thing. They try to say followers. Look.
Scammy is a movie.
Wow.
Trying to control the black man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe. It's a different how people that like you and that glorify you a bit too much.
Who the fuck glorify me? Niggas hate me, bro.
I take you right now.
Niggas hate me, bro.
No, sometimes the women hate you more than you. I thought your hate train.
Women actually love me. Y'all, I made the Center Stage podcast. Little do y'all know what all y'all come there and all y'all emotions and shit.
I can tell you the exact motherfucking topic that got this shit big.
Who?
I said the exact topic got big.
Yes, ma'am. The feminists. they do it every time.
LGBT, religion, Christians do this shit to fuck up.
Yes, ma'am. You damn right.
Now, you don't think it's crazy though that you can tell every time you get a new member, because after the big ass debate go on all day and it's done with, you got certain people that come to the personal room like this after party thing.
They be like gang after that. They be like, shit, I fuck with these people. That's what you know. Everybody else is just get around.
Y'all know, let's call it Anthony, your ass, you got stuck on our asses, and fucking Justin, you knew.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yeah, Anthony been here since the other day. Yeah, he was in. That's how you build a. That's how you build a core. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they just be, you know what I'm saying? They pop around for conversation, have a conversation. We gotta build a core.
That's how it be crazy. It be crazy in the big ass chat when we actually talking. I remember like Michael was like, "Hold on, wait." When me and the Deja was going, each other, they know each other. Yeah. People trying to get into this shit.
Yeah. Deja riding around, spreading her light skin.
He said, "Your life skin, you have privilege. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna just leave.
She was high-key hurt. And then never leave. That's why I fuck with her, Deja. She never leave.
You be thought she be.
Black think she is goody too. That's why black people doing. Black think she is goody too. She came back. She was
shit, I don't.
The flow one day.
But you're not light skinned.
She gonna go off one day.
Yeah, she
that's
gonna go
why
off.
everybody's stream for saying your dick small.
But you can't go off because you wrong though. Going off because you wrong don't count.
Yeah, kind of like it.
Michael with that got dog on PTR. Change that shit, bro.
Yeah, where the fuck is Michael at, man? Michael
Who,
got
me?
Which one we got back?
Power, nigga, the main one, Michael, not Mike.
I want all the feminists to see this SpongeBob on my picture.
He only be up here at night. He got a girlfriend.
I want you for dinner, man. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. You know?
Who said?
What y'all ladies cooking tonight, man? What y'all cooking? What y'all ladies cooking tonight?
Let go of them.
I ain't talking some potatoes.
Hey, I'm gonna go get some fish too, bro. I'm gonna fry some fish. Like,
I made.
Who said that?
I had black beans and rice.
This nigga, Mike. Hey, what they said Michael was doing.
Yo, last night I had a dying laughing.
Yeah, they said he was doing something when I woke up this morning. I was like,
Yo, that shit was crazy.
No, I didn't go to bed.
What he was doing?
That's not funny.
Yeah. Close that bitch down.
Yeah, I didn't. So sick.
Yeah, it was.
What Michael was doing, yeah?
I don't even fuck. Like we was cracking the fuck out. Just the way he talk, it just be so funny.
No, I died when Key got Wolverine up the roof.
Oh yeah, they said Keyshawn and Wolverine was going at it, yo.
Yo, he get the green bean. He be gonna turn into the Hulk. Like,
So Maya keep saying, this nigga Key funny. He said, hey Key, that nigga told you.
He said that nigga going to the dirt.
He said, what? Alright. You telling me for a some drink? He was taking this shit to off me pussy, so I get in the refrigerator. Hey, bro, Keith, they said that nigga told you come on. Going to the dirt. That shit hilarious, man.
yeah, and this Jasper dumbass came up in here trying to type up what the fuck.
Oh yeah. What Jazz do? Where she at? Where Jazz at? What she do?
No, not Jasper. Some random Jasper that came in here because we was cracking the door.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, they don't take black people serious.
Yeah.
Get your ass the fuck out.
Yeah.
That nigga hotel.
He came in and like, oh, why aren't you guys having a serious conversation? This is the problem with Clubhouse.
It was Tiny and T.I. Nigga, you knew we weren't talking about no serious shit.
crazy.
Look, I didn't know.
We think T.I. did it.
I think it's some real cases, but some fake cases real.
You gotta fuck him to deal with. Bruh, but he ain't raping. That whole thing, they try to make it like he was raping them. Did they get drugged and fucked him in his wife?
Bruh, is it no mistake? Is it no mistake that Tip all of a sudden been on his independent revolutionary shit? He been with the minister.
Facts, bro. I told him.
Like the Jews in business don't want to compromise your behind you trying to do some revolutionary shit for your folks. You want to get wise, young man? You want to build cars? That's what happened to Bill Cosby.
So you know, like a class action lawsuit against Lord of London. You guys familiar with that, right? So Lord of London is a huge insurance carrier, been around hundreds of years.
Exactly. With Michael Jackson shit.
No, I'm not familiar with that. But Lords of London is, again, a huge insurance carrier, like life insurance, right? And so what happened was, it has been proven that Lords of London insured cargo during the slave trade. So essentially what that means is they profit off a business of transporting humans. So that's why he has a $500 million, I believe, class action lawsuit against Lords of London. And if I'm not mistaken, started it like 2018. You can Google it.
T.I. you talking about, right?
Jackson had $1 billion insurance policy with London, and that's pretty much what they set up for his last concert, when he was kind of like not looking as sharp. And then that's when kind of got rid of him once that insurance policy was filed for that next tour.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that they were that insured it.
Yeah, you can just Google like Michael Jackson, Lloyd's insurance policy.
Interesting that to Scammy or who's ever making that, you know, once he started to move, and you got to think about the history in this country, Malcolm, Martin, but that's why even more so, it is imperative, it is critical to support each other in this time and not be divisive, you know. With
let me hold $20 there, man. Send me $20 on Cash App there. How about that?
Put your Cash App up. Say when. What you mean?
I'm just playing, baby. I'm just playing.
If
I really needed it, listen, that what Marty said do, and let's build a fund for all the black people, like they come in this group or this community, and every Friday we put some money in the pot.
Yeah, that's dope.
I was just thinking about that. Be way better.
I love that.
That way we creating our own bank and shit like that. Can have our own trust.
Okay.
If one of us in here start a goddamn business or something, we can donate some funds toward that, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I would prefer to do that shit before I ask my father for $20. Fuck me and my $20. Let's make $100. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
And if everybody became shareholders in these business shit, we'll donate more potentially, because hell, we getting something out of it. We'll be more concerned and more, you know, we can help each other and build off each other on that type of level. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, agreed.
Y'all heard Elijah Muhammad on Martin Luther King on his radio station? He touched on all of this shit back then. Like, he went in on him in a way though, but it was very wise. It was on point. It's on YouTube too. Elijah Muhammad speaks on Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
He's saying to be seen.
If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's so powerful.
Hell no, listen to Farrakhan ass.
No, we can say Farrakhan.
What y'all say? Oh, you said Elijah Muhammad. Well, yeah, that was his ass either. Muhammad.
Oh, let's get into this. Go ahead.
Hell yeah, listen to goddamn Prophet Muhammad. His ass was raping pedophilia motherfuckers in that community too.
All right, boom. Hold on.
Hell nah.
Wait. Here's my question. Besides how you feel about him through what you've heard personally, right? You may have seen this man do first.
And you know what? You 100% correct, but you're right. It's not about his work. I mean, I don't really know much about his work, especially because I don't look into him.
So what?
But I say the same shit about Dr. Umar all the time. I say the same shit. So I feel what you're saying, brother.
Have you ever heard Malcolm X's apology?
To who?
Sadly.
Yeah, to Elijah Muhammad. Let me play it for you. It's short. I'll play it right now.
Go ahead. This nigga is a DJ. He been playing shit all goddamn. Go ahead, Radio Raleigh. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Okay.
Who called that man ready?
Hey, when was this apology? Apology.
You want the Mecca?
Hey, y'all can hear it?
They still killed him, so fuck that.
It's a little low.
Yeah, barely.
He's whispering, but
I want to put what I want to say to you on this tape for two purposes. Number one, I want to really apologize to you for having let you down, for the mistakes that I've made, especially during the past year. I want to confess my fault, confess my wrong. I want to confess. I want you to know that thanks to Allah and you, I'm able to see myself better now. I'm able to see my weaknesses better now and my shortcomings better now. That in seeing them better, it may be possible for me to overcome them and become a better person. At least I'm praying to Allah that this is the merciful, nor forgiving toward me. I could well understand. I've always known that Master Allah. I believe that Master W.D. Farad is Allah, and I believe that you are his messenger. I believe that your program is right, and I believe that your teachings are right, and that it was my belief in this that made me as successful as I was. Especially, it was my firm belief in this that enabled me to stand up in the face of all opposition on television, on radio, before colleges, and before people out in the street at mass rallies, and support your program and present your program and represent your program. It was my faith in it that enabled me to represent it.
right. So they were on the way to let him back in, but then the FBI used that as leverage because Malcolm folded. Kind of like in the mafia, you don't speak on what's happening inside your clique. And he went right to the white man after a certain point in time and started talking, a lot of this stuff. So there's more research for us to do internally, even with our own folks. Because shit like this is like, he made this, I believe, a year before he passed. Or not a year, but it's around that same time frame. And you can just put in Malcolm X apologizes to Elijah Muhammad on YouTube as well, if you want to find it and just look into it.
I mean, who recorded this shit though, bro?
He did himself. Here's the beginning.
Malcolm X recorded it?
Yeah, he did himself. He recorded it and they had their own.
Yeah, they got their own media and all of that shit. I know.
Elijah had 2 jets.
And he's still killed.
It sounds low. He's recording himself saying, "Dear Holy Apostle, in the name of the Beneficent, the Merciful, Assalamu Alaikum, blah, blah, blah." He said, "I wanted to record this tape and send to you, to address pretty much all this bullshit that's been going on." You know what I mean? But that one don't get 32,000 views on this video compared to how much we know about what Elijah did. Man, that man did such great works, man. Fuck all that other shit that they would say or this say. It's keeping separation. It's stopping us from looking at tangibles that we can look at and go after that one. Dick Gregory himself.
Dick Gregory, I remember that.
Talk to him.
Yeah. But I don't know if Dick Gregory was Dick. I don't know. It could have been Dick Ryan too. I don't know. A lot of people Dick wrote that.
Hilarious. Why are you so resistant to just looking at the man?
I know. I'm saying though. I mean, I understand his teaching. Well, not his teachings. Some of the things he did, but I don't gotta worship him as a person. Though you did.
Nah, hell no. Ain't nobody. He don't tell you that.
Didn't Muhammad Ali kind of start drifting away from him later on in his life or something like that?
Yeah, once he killed Malcolm X, he did.
Damn near everyone started avoiding him.
Because everybody. Yeah, they said Islam. They were in cahoots with the FBI and did that. They allowed him to be killed.
Yeah, there's a documentary on members specifically that
I seen him.
Yeah, Dick Gregory talks about that in his book too. He was there. He said he was on the phone with Malcolm X and he told him that he couldn't come to that convention because they were going to kill both of them.
I seen that one.
That has nothing to do with the nation.
Nah, bro. Nah.
He said Dick Gregory said that it was both. It was the CIA and it was
right. And
those the Nation of Islam.
And the Muhammad guy who was involved. Yeah, they were. You got to understand, in any organization, you have motherfucking ops. Like, some niggas is just going to decide to be in cahoots with the other shit, with the other folks.
You don't think that Elijah Muhammad had anything to do with it, though?
No.
You got to think COINTELPRO.
His word and him some of his own people, understudies under him, would do it off the strength. Like they would just do it off the top, off their
They said,
I would think that
they said Farrakhan did that shit.
Feel like
Farrakhan excited the energy at that time because he said
if they was loyal to him. I don't think that they would have moved with. I don't know. You know, I don't know.
No, and well, you have to understand how the Nation of Islam has their own like
Definitely
society and shit.
And
So
because the FOI, the fruit of Islam, if right now Minister Farrakhan says and it affected his the FOI in a certain way, they're gonna move on his behalf.
They're gonna move.
Oh, okay.
Period. It's on their own because they're in one mind, in one accord.
I think Farrakhan did that shit.
No, Farrakhan didn't do it. His words may have excited more people to want to do it. He may have had an energy to influence it, but we can't just say this man did it. No, that's very difficult. Like, why is so many of our great black men, why we can't look up to nobody clean no matter what they did, but we find bias for everybody else? Tangible work that they've done for black people.
Because the narratives have been changed by white folks, which is why we can't admire them for the greatness that they are.
Yeah. It becomes very difficult. And these are the right, like, bruh, I'm the last nigga to just be shouting at anybody. I don't worship no man, no woman, not Selassie, not Elijah Muhammad, not nothing. Only spirit. But there's a spirit in all of us that we should acknowledge of God that we say. And that spirit came here and did work for us, on our behalf. No matter what flaw this man did, he's done so much shit that's still trickling into this generation. That one talk alone on Martin Luther King, and if you hear what he's saying, bro, you can be like, damn, I kind of fuck with what this nigga saying. And you still feel how you feel. I'm not trying to say, put y'all hands up.
How about you just go ahead and say what he said on Martin Luther King?
It's kind of long, but I'll start it. I'll just
go ahead.
From the knowledge of your own self, it is very true by those. Past 400 years, there was no teaching of yourself. Who has everything on you. There has never been given any knowledge of yourself and those who carry you. Man has enslaved you up until present time to make you their equal and to deal justly from you by those who carry you and claim you. And you like it like that. You don't despise it. You don't hate it. You like that they carry you as they always have. So very, very ignorant in the eyes of the civilized nations of the earth. We all are very ashamed of your own actions today in a modern time, modern world, and in a educated world. And you're acting as though you never was educated. You who are educated, you who profess education, you who carry diplomas and degrees. It is a shame to see you so far off today from your own, from the knowledge of your own self. It is very shameful. I say to you, my beloved, it is time to wake up and know yourself and join on the side of your kind and stop trying to join on the side of the people. That is not your people. You are marching on. I would like to talk with Mr. Martin Luther King, but I can't personally. But I will speak with him and those who are following him in this broadcast today. Reverend Martin Luther King may be sincere in what and those who are following him may be sincere. But what good is it to be sincere in that which will not bring to you no gain? You will continue to march and march on. What are you to gain for your people as a whole in your continued marching? You marched on Washington with over 200,000 people, so it was reported at one time. What has you and your people gained from that march? Around 2 weeks ago, according to the report, was around 30,000. And you still plan more marching while you and no marchers and a disgrace beat and kill even those who claim treatment. And you are denied the honor of a leader by the head of the state of Alabama, the governor, to even speak or talk with you. He chose his honor. So-called Negroes of the South there in Alabama who was marching with you to talk. You know that if you are the president or to speak with the head of the state, the governor, who has been preventing you from marching with his armies of police there in the state. Why do you want to continue to march in a place where that you not even think over these things? He don't recognize your honor as a leader of these marches. And that he don't recognize the honor of the marchers. It is against their own will that you march and take the bullet in the Alabama for your people and stuff. Now, let us get down to facts. You're rejected. You have no honor in the South by the white people. You are criticized and despised by the Southern white people. And they have the power to grant to you a voting. They do this. Are they doing it? They're not doing this for you to vote and your people. I still ask the same question. That is done here in the North. All right,
I get it. Yeah. So that's what I said. You can shut the fuck up, Martin Luther King. He's basically, and throughout the whole talk, this broadcast, he's basically saying like, "What the fuck is y'all marching for? What the fuck is laying on the floor for? Begging shit for? Why don't you get up, build your industry, build your own businesses? Let's get our own factories. Let's do our own. We don't need to march. We need to be getting our own land. We need to be separating from these folks and getting our own states. We need to be building our own infrastructure. Stop talking about them. Leave them alone. Let them do their things for their nature. We need to be getting into our nature and focusing on that." That's what that man teach.
Yeah, but even when you get to that point, the problem is that we don't have the infrastructure to do that. And as much as we try to, really what ends up happening every time is that white people try to suppress it. So you kind of have to play along with white people long enough to get to a point where you can surprise them from the inside, because you have to beat them at their own.
Well, that's the reason why we got to stop shunning away the Candace Owens and Kanye West and shit like that. It's like,
Well,
it's like,
Kanye, well, not Kanye West, but Candace is a pawn for Republicans to make
well,
white people
that's
feel
not
like,
true at all. That's not true at all. I'm sorry, brother, but that's not true at all. You gotta understand. Bro. Candace always talking about black people. She don't get up there, you know what I'm saying, talk about none of this other shit. She talk about black people and what she think will benefit the black community. And everything that she's saying, that's what fair and condom stood for. You gotta really listen to her. Don't listen to her.
No, I listen. No, I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I do listen to her. I think she, not to say that her points aren't somewhat valid, the way that she makes those points and the way that she panders that is to make white people not feel so bad for the fact years of slavery and acting like they can absolve themselves from that, which isn't the case.
Nah. I mean, so whatever, like, we gotta start doing.
Do you agree with her on her George Floyd comments?
I didn't really hear what she said.
When it came to George Floyd, she essentially said that this man is a criminal. He completely deserved to die, and we need to stop.
I want to hear basically. I'm gonna lie, bro. I want to hear basically what she said. I want to hear exactly what she said. I don't want to.
No, that was straight up. She said we needed to stop idolizing. We need to stop idolizing criminals. But again, America has a history of idolizing criminals as a whole.
I mean, can I be honest? I mean, I don't disagree with that, other than the fact that he didn't deserve to die, but he did go in that bitch and spend a fake $20 bill. So you know what I'm saying?
Again, why does him getting a $20 bill deserve? Does it mean he needs to die?
I mean, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he shouldn't have went in there and spent a $600 bill. Now, what happens after the fact? Yeah, it's fucked up. I can realize that. You know what I'm saying?
And okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Now, do you also understand that crime is higher in areas of high poverty?
Yeah, I know that.
Well as
look, bro, you should have quiet. Like, that's what I stand on. But I also realize that we got people in certain places that we need to make our allies, because at the end of the day, she got them sold on her dick. They're gonna listen to her. So that's the problem. Like I say, we would never have a split that beside the door in today's age.
And that's because white people have the money to pay for her. Like, I mean, sure, LeBron James could easily be in pockets to get her to say whatever the fuck she wants, but she's not beating LeBron's not beating a Bernie Madoff.
Then that's the problem, because we've allowed Democrats to control our emotions, and that's the problem.
Correct. Which is why we should have our own political party. This should have happened right.
We do. It's called the birthday party. I should have voted.
Well, I don't have anybody that's in my district locally that I can vote for. That's birthday party.
See, I made a response video to the allegations, Scammy. I'm gonna send it to you.
Huh?
Said I made a response video to all the allegations and shit that people stuck to him. I'm gonna send it to you.
Hey, play it. Just play it.
I can't. I saw through Twitter. I'm not like you. I don't got 2 phones and shit.
Somebody play it.
Send it to me, Nadia. I'll play it on my iPad.
Okay.
Oh, bet.
Y'all rich motherfuckers. I'll send it to you.
Okay, I'm about to go in the quiet area.
See, y'all gotta have multiple chicks, man.
Can I tell y'all the first response was bullshit.
You gotta finesse that and you to get some new pussy.
Funny as shit, Tico.
It took you 2 minutes.
Nah, I can resonate with it. I'm in a grocery store. I wanted to talk. Huh? He would let it go on.
Okay, I got it, y'all.
Load him out.
Y'all ready?
Yeah. So you gotta turn it up.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, imagine. It's extremely difficult for me to remain quiet.
I don't know why it's fucking up.
The way they respond to this shit is making me mad as fuck right now, honestly.
This should be too perfect.
Forgive me, I have fucking sucky ass Spectrum and it's fucking acting up.
Hey, what's the
we have like 50 iPads on it. It's T.I. response to sexual abuse allegations.
It's on Baller Alert. If you follow them on Twitter, Baller Alert, they posted it on their page. But it's just like 8 minutes long.
T.I. respond.
So T.I. and his woman getting accused.
Yeah, they both. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been having sex with him.
Oh, here you go. Oh, Twitter. All right.
Hey. It's very difficult to be very quiet in light of all the things that have transpired and all the
Hey, niggas start trying to grow locks and shit. Shit get hard. He growing his hair out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. My Wi-Fi is messed up. I got like a couple of
There you go. I got you.
Kenny, mute yourself so I can hear him.
Hey, probably missed or imagine. It's difficult for me to remain quiet in light of all the things that have transpired and all of the egregious allegations that have been tossed around about me and my wife. But there's a reason for that, and I don't mind sharing it. You see, if a person does not have any right to criminally or civilly have you in court, they have no right. The best thing they can do is get you for a defamation suit, drag you in court, make you pay their legal bill to get you in court. Now, I mean, at this point, man, this is the point where strategy, that's the intention. Say a whole bunch of false stuff about you that get people to believe and make them come out and they're a liar. And then they say, see, they call me a liar. That's defamation. And they drag you in court, get you under oath and all that. Because unfortunately, right now, it doesn't matter as much what they can prove you did. It matters what you can prove you did. You know what I mean? And that's just an unfortunate place that our society has made it to. But I want to be clear about women who have been victimized deserve to be heard. Women, black women in particular, protected, defended, and uplifted. However, evil has no gender. People comes in all shapes and sizes. I would never treat a woman the same way I would treat a threat. All right? So I think that has to be distinguished. First and foremost, I want to say my wife is a beautiful person with an amazing spirit and a kind heart. She's a devoted mother, and she has a humble soul. She don't deserve it. She don't deserve it. Open the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in, chime in, and make their opinions about what we do and don't do, should do. I will say this. Whatever we ever have, we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go to get it. We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We ain't never made nobody do anything. We ain't never trafficked anything. Well, sexually trafficked anything. I ain't never break nobody. Never break nobody. Also, I'm gonna tell you what's factual. Tell you what's factual. There have been fake stories put up, their blog sites, anonymously sent to this person. And the person posted it as though it was a victim. What this does is it dismantles the mechanism that women have created for themselves. You can't weaponize something with baseless claims. These are not stories of actual events. They're not. And I have proof of that. That's why I said it. I have proof of that. I have people who have gone on live with this person and they just said, man, I just wanted some clout.
That's why I was. I can't believe they actually posted this shit. I just want some clout. So this is what we dealing with, man. This is what we dealing with. Now, so I pose you a question: how you gonna be a victim and an attacker at the same time? How are you being victimized if you are violently attacking someone? Women who have been victimized deserve to be heard. They deserve to feel comfortable, confident. They deserve to feel supported. And that's supposed to get them to a place where they can show their face and say, this is what happened to me. This is who did it. And so the necessary steps can follow.
Hey, it's 3 more minutes to this shit. Y'all want to rock it out?
Yeah, keep it going, bro.
Keep going.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is not that. I also want you to know there's evil at play. I'm talking about evil. I'm talking like,
Evil. Yeah.
And there's been a history. We've had a history in dealing with the particular individual in question. We had a history of it, man. Had a history of it. A record of pattern behavior like this. A record, a history of harassment. Not. I'm talking about, listen, this is not my opinion. I'm just saying what's on record. A history of violence on record. And we can't just, weaponize social media to take down people who have families and who communities depend on. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about who have everything that they can to uplift and help to evolve our communities. We can't tear our people down. And this has taught me a lot. But one thing I know, man, I will not be willing. I am not afraid. I am not ashamed. And and the truth will be revealed, man. But until then, man, and listen, man, any woman out there who's going through things, who have gone through things, you have a story, and you should come forward. You should, but don't lie, because that tear the whole vehicle down. Don't lie. Don't lie. The truth is what needs to be heard. The truth. And I can deal with the truth all day. But at some point, man, it has to be some sort of, it got to be something that happens if you come and make baseless claims that are false about somebody that have a negative impact on them, their livelihood, or freedom. Something got to be done about that. But I was built for this. I was born to be in this position. I was born to be in this position, to face pressure. So it was in the future. I was born to be for this. So whatever evil has been come again, no weapon form against me shall prosper. But man, I got a lot of love for everybody who's been calling me and who's been supporting me and my wife. Shit, man. We'll be back later. You dig what I'm saying? Love and respect.
I believe what he's saying.
Hey, it's like we don't really even fucking know. But at the same time, like just using
I believe that.
he did some freaked out shit. He was probably doing freaked out shit.
Yeah. He said it without saying. And another
he was basically saying that, like, whatever. But he was basically saying, like, whatever me and my wife into, they ain't none of our business, and what we do to beverage our problem. We might have been into that little, like having people come in. Especially celebrities, shit like that. Yeah, it's like Will and David and shit like that. So it's like he could have did that, but he let it be known, like, I ain't drugged them. We can find motherfuckers to do it consensually if we needed it. I believe him.
The crazy thing after he started talking about doing responsible financial shit like that, and then they came with his London shit. Like right after they go to the hip hop summit and meet with Minister Farrakhan, they always attack all of Young Thug had it happen right after they met. Then it was who I just said, yeah, then now it's Tip. So it's just gonna keep going. It's gonna be somebody else all of a sudden.
It's some bullshit.
I said that earlier though. I said this. I said they keep doing this.
Remember, 21 did the financial shit. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, he's an immigrant. They looking for dirt.
Yeah, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They go through. It's a systematic thing that they do. They take down anybody who start. Like I told you, I think I said it yesterday. The Expeditiously podcast. If you go listen to his podcast on YouTube, bro, or on the podcast app on the iPhone, man, that nigga they're dropping number signs, interviewing all types of dudes, and they straight with the woke shit. Yeah, T.I. He got gang of videos. Talking to a lot of them in his if you go on YouTube, he to him with the video and everything.
With the juice shit, same thing.
Man, he dropping signs, same shit we sitting there talking about. He more on the, you know, like us. He on the guard. He might got, you know, he fuck with Christianity, just certain shit, but he understand all that shit. Man, he big and deep with all these niggas, man. I'm talking about big niggas. Okay, I ain't no little niggas. So yeah, we gotta cut this nigga head off. Cause get what? He done went. This a slave who. This a kunta right here. You know what I'm saying? We done brought this nigga up and then gave this nigga all this and that. This how they feel, bro. And the nigga catalog is deep as fuck, bro. The nigga own his shit. So you already know they coming for all that. That's what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if Lil Wayne had to sell this shit and Trump probably got a piece of it. And I'm not saying I'm just Trump because I'm not.
Yeah. Sell all his masters for $100 million.
That's what I'm saying. He had to do that probably to go and get that part and to sell out. Man, ain't no telling what type of shit he had to play. You feel what I'm saying? They get from up under that shit of not going back to jail and all this and that, man. Them people some bad motherfuckers when it come to, doing what the fuck they do. Yeah, they do it consistently, man. That's what they do. It's a historical fact. Just look at history, man. Anybody who do that, they gonna take their ass down and take them out. Whichever one come first. Now they actually let him go because on that gun charge, because you know they carry 30 years in the feds. That gun, the machine guns. If you get caught with a machine gun, bro, that's a 30-year mandatory minimum federal. You know what I'm saying? So, but the reason why he got off because guess what? If we take T.I., we lock him up, we get him 30. Not only that, because you know he was the president of what there was Atlantic. He was the president of Atlantic at the time. So this nigga had a $2-3 million a year job. Fucking with the Jews, running they shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget that they got his back when you on their side, but when you go against their ass, they you up. So that's what he doing. He got that podcast. He going against them. Then he got a little comedy podcast on YouTube with the little comedian dude out of Atlanta. But the nigga straight on some woke shit, bro. So I'm telling y'all, bro. Anytime you do that shit, they gonna fuck you up.
Yo, did y'all know Bill Cosby had a documentary called Black History Lost, Stolen, or Strayed, 1968? So they was really just waiting and tracking these people over time. Like, this shit is generational. It's the long game they be playing. It ain't no small, petty thing from, like, right now. But they get it in there now and later. Retail and wholesale. Yeah, that mandatory 30 for that machine gun with T.I., they knowing one thing. Psychologically, if the country see them give T.I. 30 years for these machine gun, now the country is woke on what we giving y'all for machine guns. So niggas ain't woke to that because if they'd have gave them that, the whole country would have knew that. The whole world would have knew that. So guess what? Niggas ain't toting them big ass guns no more. That ain't a part of the plan. They want you with the big guns, bro. That's a part of it. That's fact.
All this shit's some bullshit.
It's a fact, man.
And it's bullshit too, for real. Everybody fall for it every single time. Every person they try to fuck
every time.
And these same motherfuckers who was in here today and every other day who be going against the shit we talking about, the believers don't know about the system and how this shit been working, or they ignorant, which means the root word is ignore. They ignoring the fact. Exactly. That's why I be on her, man, because she ignorant to a lot of shit. Want to be.
Adasia, you one of the main ones. Adasia, you.
Yeah, for real. She be ignoring a lot of the facts. We put this shit in their face. You could prove this shit historically. You could prove it factually. They will still go against it. That's why I be on it. Where she at? She had inbox me. Let me pull her ass up. She had inbox me talking about what's wrong with you. It ain't the fact that it was what you were saying and in the moment. You know what I'm saying? That's what I disagree with. It wasn't nothing about me trying to pick on you or nothing like that.
I'm trying to pick on you. That's what I was eating.
Go on, speak today.
Y'all talking about the conversation from earlier?
Yeah.
You like, what the fuck wrong with you? I'm like, damn, man. I was speaking on what you was speaking on.
I heard that kind of like, I was like, dang, we getting a little personal.
Nah, I wasn't getting personal. The people was giving you facts instead of dropping science, and y'all just be like, but Jesus or some shit. Y'all will go back to all the way back to that shit that nigga gave you 100 facts on how this shit
like,
working.
You know, it's so crazy. They be in here talking about their traumas, and the nigga say, "Fuck, they be ready to cry."
And we sitting here mostly agreeing with y'all on a lot of shit, but not on everything. And nobody sees this shit the same way, so we all here to share that shit and work that shit out and see what we agree at. I mean, not what we agree at, but what's the facts? What's the source? Who dropping this shit? Who really like?
My only problem is oftentimes you always hear in these segments, but this is when people start to leave. This will make me mad. When somebody goes and Max said this shit, he kept saying this shit yesterday. He was like, "You're arguing feelings, I'm arguing facts. Like I'm pulling you like actual data, actual shit that you can actually like touch. I can't shit you go look up." And like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but it's like, no, the fuck you don't hear what you're saying, because if you finna go and like follow up with what he just said with some bullshit like what you just been repeating, and after a while, I feel like the conversation talking in circles. Like some people get it, but very few people get that shit. And the ones that get it, they gonna argue all night.
Once you have the understanding of facts over feelings, you will go a long way of understanding.
Because one thing is reality don't give one fuck about how we feel about it. It's gonna go on and push the agenda. That's what this shit is about, man. It's an
when
agenda.
People tell me their feelings, I hear them, but I'm always trying to come up with a solution.
Exactly. And that's what we here to do.
You know what's crazy though?
That's what I said about the Me Too movement. How y'all feel, but if the ultimate goal of the movement is to not actually get some shit done, then it's pointless to try to just support it or be all for it.
It's like nature doesn't even have emotion. Nature just warns you and then just
don't.
Exactly.
No such thing.
All the time, bro. Nature
does not give a fuck at all. And it's like,
when an alligator eat a motherfucking pig, is it bad for the alligator or good for the pig? Good, man. You know what I'm saying? The alligator eat a pig. You know what I'm saying? A horse, a cow, what an antelope.
I wish I had some fucking food snacks.
Antelope good as fuck.
Shit, you and me both. These two with these three people. We say that all the time. We talk about how nobody's inherently good or inherently bad.
Wish I was a black woman. Wish I was a black woman. I didn't
brother. Here this guy goes. I'm a black woman. I don't get food stamps.
Well, you can. Go fly.
I think we should switch that shit up.
You cinnamon. How about you use your women privilege with me?
I'm going to tell you this, right?
That's crazy. I feel like if you in college, you should automatically qualify.
Oh, nah. Days. I'll tell you why. Nah, you don't, though.
Government that, bro.
Yeah, nah. Listen, if you're in school and you ain't
does it go off your parents' income?
Nah. Listen, I'll tell you some real shit. I was in college, too. If you in school and you ain't working, you can't get no food stamps, bro. It's some bullshit. You gonna apply for it, they gonna give none of that shit. You gotta come out pocket all this.
Yes, it's fucked up, for real. I'm like, those people actually, like, you know, trying to progress in life and everything. Y'all can't give them no type of allotment. That's the way America wants.
What about your man Joe Biden? See if Biden do that for you.
I think you should get food stamps.
When I went to college.
I think you shouldn't get food stamps unless you got a man in the house.
Bro, you be hungry as shit in college too. Once that cafeteria closed and that buffet over, man, you hungry as shit. And then they be having them bitch ass.
That's y'all campus, baby.
Oh, you say off campus? Oh, so you don't eat food on campus?
No, I didn't. I don't even touch my face. I don't think nobody really paid for that.
Sure. So, Maya, you didn't get your freshman 15.
No, I did. I got my freshman 15. They got to though. I got my freshman 30. But they got mine.
I got my freshman 15. I ain't never lose mine, bro.
I gained more than 15. Body weight. My ass always fluctuates. I'm like, I know what I eat, but I be trying to not eat meat at the same time. I gain weight.
Can I use any of these?
I get on the go. I get on the go. Yeah. And I was like, that'd be too much fucking work. And my school, I was gonna do softball when I first got here. I did softball. You go to Jacksonville? Hell no, I'm going to Jacksonville, baby. I go to next year in Florida Agriculture and Mechanical University. That's the only college I know in Florida is Jacksonville.
What's wrong with that? Jacksonville for like 10 years. They
say Jacksonville is a little hood.
Jacksonville is fun. It is.
Man, that motherfucker. A little bit.
A little bit.
Ghetto as shit.
Yeah, my friend Rico, he played basketball at Jacksonville. He from Louisiana though.
Jacksonville actually was a murder capital at some point. It was a murder capital. Yeah. Before Chicago.
Drove off in my vehicle from the gas station with my glasses on top of the car. I was like, where my glasses at? I know. My insurance changed, so I can only get a pair of frames like every 2 years now.
Are you blind today?
Yeah, I can't see.
Stop waiting on them motherfuckers and go on by 'em.
All the holistic help my I know for a fact there's some type of shit up in there that can help your eyesight get better. I know this glasses shit.
It is. You can improve your. Yeah, you definitely can improve your eyesight. But a lot of times you want to catch it early on.
And if y'all don't fucking mute Scammy right now.
Yeah, now I got a video for everything.
I forgot Maya ain't have a green bean. It feels so good.
Ain't it carrot juice though? To fix eyesight?
I think it's carrots.
I
don't trust carrots though because they're hybrid.
Real vegetable. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's fucking real.
No.
They're hybrid
Carrots
lemons.
not real, yo. I mean,
No.
real.
No, they aren't. And lemons aren't either, of course. That's why you're supposed to drink lime juice, not lemon juice.
Here, bro, you want to hear Dr. Sabi talk about carrots?
Bro, ain't nothing real. It's hard.
Anything without
Lemon
lemon
ain't
is
good
green.
for you either.
We not supposed to
Yeah.
drink lemon water?
Bro, listen,
No.
bro. Ain't nothing real, bro. Ain't nothing real. It's hard being a hotep out here. Bro.
I know.
It's hard being
I
a
just
hotep.
found out that garlic wasn't that you're not supposed to consume garlic really.
We not
You
supposed
know
to eat
what's
garlic?
going on here for a tap?
Yeah, but I'ma still eat it though because I
You
love
trying to
garlic.
live, yeah? Thank you.
Yo, this shit crazy.
Dr.
You can still
G,
eat
Dr.
meat though, right?
G.
No freak shit.
The white man made that.
They fucking chicken is a reptile, so that's it.
What a
Chickens is
chicken?
lizards?
Dog, chickens is dinosaurs. It's a
I'm like,
dinosaur, man.
Justin already know all this stuff. He just talking.
According to the
I feel like
hotep.
he already know all this.
Hey,
I'm a
look, all
hotep.
right. Hey, peep this.
And that's fine, that's fine.
Hey, peep this one from Dr. Sabi, what he say on the carrots.
And I told the audience of the that
Hey, Tico, hit Scammy Mike, please.
Man, if y'all don't give me a fucking beat for real.
Huh?
No, keep going.
Wait,
carrot for artificial. They all denied me. 1 year later, when Nova came up with the program, that not only was it artificial, they showed that it was made by crossing the Queen Anne lakes and the wild yam. You do not mix herbs unless they belong to the same balance. What do I mean by that? I mean this. In the kingdom of life, a yarrow plant, which is known as the Queen Anne lace, could only and will only pollinate another Queen Anne lace. Why? Because the pollen carries the same amount of balance as the other. And through that process, we know as chemical affinity, they join. Now, a mechanical mixture is when you cut a sliver in a plant, like the Queen Anne lace, and you cut a sliver in another plant, and you take out the heart of the stem, and you put it inside the Queen Anne lace, and you tape it. That is hybridization. Black people knows nothing about this. And now this plant produces something other than what it was originally. Because now you're uniting Queen Anne lace with wild yam. You don't get the wild yam of the Queen Anne lace. You get what? A carrot. They went further to show that it was made in Holland. And little before that article came out, I had returned to the drawing board to find this carrot. I knew it was artificial. To find this carrot, I knew it was artificial. Why? Because it doesn't produce seed to reproduce itself. Carrot just does not produce a seed that reproduces itself. So I knew it was artificial. And beside that, it contains starch. When I go back to do
my research, guess what I found? That the German made the lamb, the German made the barley. I said, well, now, this is why the Arabs are so indebted to Germany. Because the German make the Arab food. The Arabs has no food, you know. Arabia never had food. Arabia doesn't have food now. Nowhere in Arabia you find not the food. Everything the Arabs eat, the very Quran that they read came out of Germany. Also their food. If the Germans remove the food from the Arabs, they starve to death.
Yeah, that's the end of that one.
He said, Justin, he said German?
German, yeah, like he was talking, it's a whole hour-long video where they interview him and he just explaining everything. It's on YouTube.
Keyshawn, mute yourself.
But he's talking about, Germany and German people in general. Because when we got to look at history, even in the United States, we got to keep in mind that most of these presidents have lineages from Germany, from London, from Italy, like all these European nations and countries. So we're linked to them both. So what we don't be looking is like King Leopold, like Belgium and shit like that, where that's where the real epicenter of a lot of this evil shit and it, how it comes over here is. It's linked between both of them. So he's talking about Islam, Germany, all types.
Hey, another good doctor too is, I think, is it Africa? I think it's Dr. Africa. I got some of his books and Queen of Fool. I know Maya, she
Rest in
into
peace,
that. I don't know if you
Dr.
ever read, like,
Rest in peace, for real.
huh?
He passed last year.
Oh, I was saying, oh, okay. I was telling Maya, you should check out some of Queen of Fool's books too. She a good artist. I mean, Queen of Fool.
AFUA.
You know, she made Sacred Woman, but she has another book called Heal Thyself. Heal Thyself. I heard that book is wonderful. It's Heal Thyself. That's a good book. Yeah, that's a good book. I got a couple of her books. Oh, and Overcoming the Angry Vagina. That's a good book too.
I ain't trying to cut none of y'all off, but I'm really mind blown because I fucking love Carriage, yo. Like this fucked me up. Yo. I'm fucked up. I'm not going to go.
Away from the video.
Damn, bro.
Seed is not real.
That shit crazy. Maya, like, I fucking love Carriage with Ranch. That's wicked.
Damn, bro.
Well, the thing is like you can eat it, but you just want to do it in moderation unless you're just trying to do a strict, like alkaline diet. But let's be realistic. I don't think many of us are going to go our whole lives and not eat some organic stuff. The minute that my ass, you in Florida, so college and got money, I'm done. That's why I say I low key be trying to like. I got so many good things to buy, but certain shit I know I'm not ready for because I got this thing. I escape this shit. Right?
Yeah, we really ourselves either really tap in with farming over here. Was compromised too, so it won't matter on that front. But
everything is.
But like even going overseas, you gotta with the Caribbean and shit, like doing real black on black business across the seas and getting imports. You know what I mean? Doing our own business, connecting with people over there, making friends, going to visit, going to travel. Man, getting real estate over there is cheap. You just gotta go network and get around and get to know people. But you can get you a plot of land for like $2 bands. They got houses in the Gambia you can rent for like $400 a month, $300 a month, 8-bedroom shit. You know what I mean? Like real talk. And so like it's true. Like you're right, sister. Like we got to be realistic with trying to be too extreme because if you try to eat too clean here with a straight raw alkaline diet, you'll destroy yourself because on some nigga shit. You know what I mean? You know when you trying to get somebody to watch something. Like I was trying to get my grandfather to watch a Sabi video because he has a lot of issues, but he wanted to go to Waffle House. I had just did a whole week of just eating nothing, one hash brown, one waffle and one hash brown just to get him to watch an hour of video of Sabi, which didn't even matter anyway. And I was sick for 2-3 days, like worse than ever.
Right.
That's crazy.
It probably spiked your blood sugar levels and everything. Because I was vegetarian. Well, I would really say I was like mainly plant based, but yeah, I was vegetarian for some time. And whenever I came back home to the States, I was deployed out to Cuba. When I came back home, I tried to stay consistent, but it just took that one cue. But I had some Jamaican food, but it didn't really tear my stomach up bad or anything. It wasn't until I came back home is when my stomach really got tore up.
Really is not to torment ourselves with finding this. Like, this is gonna be the most profound wisdom. Be like simple shit. So it's like, just look for life. We need like everything that animates us is life, electricity, like shit that we need. So just try to find things that God grew. Like, you know, chips didn't go out no fucking ground. Like, don't pick up no chip. Hybrid or not, they have information in them. The sun communicated. The water has information in it. The soil has information, and we eat it, and then that becomes a part of us. And then it influences how we behave, how it's like.
I'm a young black man.
Oh, this motherfucker. That's how like me right now. Like, I mainly eat plant-based, eat fish, though. You know, clean fish. But yeah, I eat fish.
Hey, is this something about apples and lemons too?
Nah, lemons is great to put in water because they like
feed it.
It's really lemons and limes. Like, no matter if the lemon is a hybrid or whatever, the conversion in your body when you drink it, it makes it alkaline. So lime in your water is good. Apples is straight. Like, just try to eat more life over trying to eat shit that gives no value or information. We're like computers, and we basically eating shit. It's simple like this, bro. Our stomach is our information processor. Whatever we put in that motherfucker, if it's acid food, it's going to tear up all the cells. It's like pouring water over your keyboard or some shit, or your computer. It's going to tear up all the cells, fuck everything up. But if it has life in it and it's alkaline, it's going to rejuvenate the cell, give life, give oxygen. It's going to help clear information. You know what I mean? There's the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and it's all eating information. And basically what we want to eat more of is that, so we can power it up, you know what I mean, and hear God inside of ourselves rather than hear the devil inside of ourselves, because we clogged up, mucused up, you know what I mean, looking like the Mucinex commercial.
Like just you do an alkaline diet. How do you eat?
Nah, I adapt. I'm an adaptable eater. So it's like wherever I'm at and it makes sense at the time, I may reserve fast, you know what I mean, or I may just have some fries over here. Okay. I may, you know what I mean, I'm going to go replace that with a salad if I can later. Or I'm going to go get a smoothie if I can replace that. Or just try to make certain decisions. I don't got to always touch food every time I'm around it. Having some discipline.
And another thing, too,